Walk into any grocery store on Earth. You will see rows of beef, chicken, pork, turkey, and lamb. Every single one of those animals has something in common. They eat plants. Now look for the lion steak. Look for wolf chops, eagle wings, or grilled bobcat. You won't find them. Not in modern supermarkets, not in medieval butcher shops, and almost never in the ancient campsites of our prehistoric ancestors. You might assume it's because predators are dangerous to hunt, but throughout history, humans hunted and killed millions of apex predators. We just didn't eat them. The reason isn't culture, it isn't tradition. It is a brutal combination of basic physics, invisible poisons, and an evolutionary trap that can literally peel your skin off. To understand why predator meat is off the menu, you have to start with a fundamental law of nature that most people never think about. Every calorie on this planet comes from the sun. Grass captures sunlight through photosynthesis. A cow comes along, eats that grass, and stores that energy in its muscles. Then you eat the cow. That seems simple enough. But in 1942, an ecologist named Raymond Lindeman discovered something shocking about how energy moves through living things. It is called the 10% law, and it is the most punishing tax in the universe. When a cow eats 10,000 pounds of grass, it does not gain 10,000 pounds of meat. It burns 90% of that energy just staying alive. Chewing, walking, pumping blood, generating body heat. Only 10% of that energy turns into edible beef. So, to get 1,000 pounds of cow, you need 10,000 pounds of grass. Now, imagine you want to farm wolves instead of cows. A wolf does not eat grass. A wolf eats cows. To grow 100 pounds of wolf meat, you have to feed that wolf 1,000 pounds of cow meat, and to get that 1,000 pounds of cow meat, you had to feed the cows 10,000 pounds of grass. To get the exact same amount of meat on your dinner plate, farming a predator requires 10 times more land, 10 times more water, and 10 times more food. As the French chemist Antoine Lavoisier famously stated, "Nothing is created, nothing is lost, everything is transformed." And in the food chain, 90% of what gets transformed is lost as heat. Raising predators for food isn't just difficult, it is an economic and ecological death sentence. Okay, so farming predators makes no sense. But what about wild ones? For hundreds of thousands of years, early humans were surrounded by wild wolves, bears, big cats, and eagles. If you killed a cougar that was attacking your camp, why not throw it on the fire and eat it? Because predators are walking sponges for poison. Scientists call this phenomenon bioaccumulation, and it turns the entire food pyramid into a funnel for toxins. Imagine a single blade of grass absorbs a microscopic speck of a heavy metal like cadmium, lead, or a natural plant toxin from the soil. That tiny speck is completely harmless to an insect that eats the grass. Now, a rodent comes along and eats 500 of those insects. That rodent now has 500 specks of toxin stored in its fat and liver. Next, a small fox eats 100 rodents. That fox is now carrying 50,000 specks of poison inside its body. And finally, an apex predator, a wolf or a mountain lion, eats 20 foxes over the course of its life. By the time you eat that lion, you aren't just eating meat. You are eating the concentrated chemical waste of millions of plants, thousands of bugs, and hundreds of animals all packed into a single steak. This is why modern health organizations tell pregnant women to avoid eating shark, swordfish, and king mackerel. Sharks are apex predators of the ocean. They live for decades, eating smaller fish that ate even smaller fish. By the time a great white or mako shark reaches adulthood, the mercury concentration in its muscle tissue can be up to 10,000 times higher than the surrounding water. As the Renaissance physician Paracelsus noted centuries ago, the dose makes the poison. And apex predators get the ultimate dose. And the poison isn't always man-made chemicals or heavy metals. Sometimes it is the animal's own biology. In December 1912, an Australian geologist named Douglas Mawson was leading an expedition across Antarctica alongside two companions, Belgrave Ninnis and Xavier Mertz. Disaster struck. Ninnis fell into a massive crevasse, taking most of their food, their tent, and their best sled dogs with him. Mawson and Mertz were stranded hundreds of miles from safety in -20-degree winds. To survive, they had no choice. They had to kill their remaining sled dogs and eat them. They ate the muscle meat, and to avoid wasting a single calorie, they ate the organs, especially the liver. Within days, both men began suffering from terrifying symptoms. Their stomachs cramped violently. Their hair started falling out in clumps. Their skin began peeling off their bodies in thick sheets, exposing raw, bleeding flesh underneath. Mertz grew delirious, suffered seizures, and died in agonizing pain. Mawson barely survived by wrapping his bleeding feet in bandages and crawling across the ice for weeks. For decades, historians wondered what mystery disease killed Mertz. Today, we know the exact culprit: hypervitaminosis A. Predators eat other animals whole, which means they absorb massive amounts of fat-soluble vitamins. To protect themselves, their livers evolved to store insane concentrations of vitamin A. A single gram of polar bear or husky liver contains thousands of international units of vitamin A. A human liver cannot process that flood of nutrients. The vitamin literally turns toxic, causing brain swelling, liver failure, and your skin to detach from your body. Eat just 30 to 50 grams of polar bear liver, and you will die. Even if the predator's liver doesn't poison you, its muscles carry another nightmare. Because predators eat raw meat and scavenge decaying carcasses, their digestive systems and muscle tissue are infested with parasites. The most infamous is a microscopic roundworm called Trichinella spiralis. When an animal eats an infected creature, the microscopic worm larvae hatch in the stomach. They mature, reproduce, and release thousands of new larvae into the bloodstream. Those larvae travel through the body and burrow directly into muscle tissue, forming microscopic calcified cysts inside your muscle fibers. If you eat bear, cougar, or wolf meat that is even slightly undercooked, those cysts dissolve in your stomach. Thousands of live worms hatch inside you, drilling into your intestines, your heart, and your diaphragm. This isn't just ancient history. In 2022, an entire family in Minnesota got infected with trichinella after eating black bear meat that was served medium rare. Several family members had to be hospitalized with severe muscle pain, fever, and facial swelling. Our ancestors didn't have microscopes, but they noticed a clear pattern over thousands of years. People who ate deer and rabbits woke up the next morning fine. People who ate bears and wolves often ended up dead or crippled by mystery illnesses. And, on top of all of that, predator meat tastes terrible. When an animal eats grass, seeds, and fruit, its fat stores pleasant, sweet, aromatic compounds. That is what gives beef, lamb, and chicken their rich, savory flavor. Carnivores have a completely different metabolism. Their bodies constantly break down massive amounts of pure protein, flooding their muscle tissue with urea, uric acid, and ammonia. Predator meat is notoriously tough, lean, stringy, and sour. Mountain lion meat is often described as tasting like bitter metallic copper. Wolf meat smells distinctly of wet dog and ammonia. Your tongue didn't evolve to be picky for no reason. That bitter, gamey disgust you feel when tasting carnivore meat is an evolutionary alarm bell. Your taste buds are screaming at you to drop it before the parasites and heavy metals reach your stomach. As Charles Darwin famously pointed out, in the struggle for survival, the fittest win out at the expense of their rivals. Humans won that struggle. We became the ultimate apex predator on planet Earth. We conquered the woolly mammoth, tamed the savanna, and built civilizations that reach into space. Yet, when we sit down to dinner tonight, our plates look almost identical to the plates of the very first hunter-gatherers who stepped out of Africa. We don't eat lions. We don't eat wolves. We don't eat eagles. We conquered the world not by fighting our way to the top of the menu, but by letting the animals at the bottom do the hard work for us, filtering the energy of the sun into clean, safe meat. So the next time you look at a steak in the grocery store, remember, that boring piece of beef isn't just dinner. It is the biological loophole that kept humanity alive.